coming up on Focal Point. It's anticipated to be the biggest movie weekend possibly ever.
Can you imagine all this construction dirt ending up as golden sand for a beach in Lansing? Lisa Bierling can see it clearly.
Teal is becoming a more popular color here on this green and white campus.
Marijuana has only been legal in the state of Michigan since November, and this new research may show us that it may affect your health positively.
Focal Point starts now.
Good evening and welcome to this edition of Focal Point. I'm Alec Rio.
And I'm Alyssa Bay.
It all started 11 years ago, and now we're at the end. The end game, that is.
Of course, we're talking about Marvel's latest movie called Endgame. The series started with Iron Man back in 2008. Griffin Stroin is standing by live in Lansing at the NCG Theater for the long-awaited opening. Griffin, what's it like out there?
Hey guys, so obviously there are a lot of people behind me here. I mean, this place is absolutely buzzing right now. A ton of Marvel fans are here to see the movie, but you know, Alyssa, just like you said, the whole Marvel series has started in 2008, at least the movies in that sense. But these fans, they've been waiting since the last Avengers movie a year ago. Matt Lippert has always loved comics.
You know, I liked this stuff for a long time, like back when I was growing up.
And now he's passing that love to his kids.
I might watch them with my sons, and they're not reading yet, so I can watch the movies. We can't read comics yet.
So working at Summit Comic and Games in Lansing was a no-brainer. Lippert's favorite comics, though?
That's what I gravitated to first, was Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man, and then later the Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America, so always just been a Marvel guy over DC.
But today, most Marvel fans aren't in the comic book store. They're in the theater. Marvel's Avengers Endgame is opening in theaters this weekend. Some of the theaters across the country have sold out tickets for last night's premiere. Here in Lansing, it's no different.
Just crazy. I've heard that this is going to be the top money-making opening ever.
It makes sense. Fans have been invested in these characters on screen since 2008.
22 movies, multiple Avengers, great heroes, and even great villains.
And with how the last Avengers movie left fans,
I saw all these people die.
They need to know what happens next. But the story all began on the pages of a comic book. And Matt Lippert remembers reading it. Today, he's missing the opening at the theater. But somebody has to mind the store.
No, I'm going tonight, so hopefully.
Just as soon as he closes up the comic book store. And so obviously the lines are going to continue and grow and grow. I mean, just look at it. It's still packed, and they're still doing at least 4 more movies tonight, and it's already kind of sold out. Still some open seats, but Andy, guys, this is just such a great venue. It's going to be a historic weekend here at the NCG Theater. Reporting here for Focal Point News, I'm Griffin Stroin. I think I have a movie I got to get to, so I got to get some popcorn.
It is a good day to be inside at a movie, but summer is right around the corner. For some, that means heading to the beach, and as Lauren Wallenfels reports, that won't mean having to leave town.
You're doing great. Misty Schulters made the trip today from Southeast Michigan.
Hey guys, stand on the pathway. Happy Friday!
And finds herself wrangling thousands of students in downtown Lansing for a career day.
And heck yeah! Hot dog, concessions!
Which may have her dreaming of relaxing on a beach.
So anywhere we can go where there's a beach, that's phenomenal.
Right here, yep, right behind us.
That dream is becoming a reality.
So construction is going on right now, and we expect every piece of Rotary Park to be finished by August.
Behind the convention center and along Grand River, they're building a beach.
Can you imagine all this construction dirt ending up as golden sand for a beach in Lansing? Lisa Bierling can see it clearly.
A little further down the way is going to be Dew Point Beach and another patio surrounding that sculpture right there.
Lisa Bierling works for the Capital Region Community Foundation. Their vision of a downtown beach park started 2 years ago.
So underneath the Shiawassee Street Bridge is going to be the Hub, which stands for Happening Under the Bridge, and that is going to be a small venue for events, concerts, readings. We're changing the whole landscape of what the Lansing Riverfront looks like.
In a few months, the land along the river from the convention center to the Shiawassee Bridge will be transformed. But some aren't waiting to enjoy it. In fact, the water feels just fine right now. In downtown Lansing, Lauren Wallenfels, Focal Point News.
Lisa Beering says no taxpayer dollars are being used for Rotary Park. The money comes from donations from people interested in investing in the city.
In national news, we cover another presidential candidate and a childhood disease making an unwanted comeback.
Honda Carter is live in the Spartan newsroom with those national updates. Alyssa, Alec, former Vice President Joe Biden announced yesterday he's running for the presidency in 2020. President Donald Trump responded to Biden's campaign announcement in a tweet referring to him as Sleepy Joe and questioning his intelligence. Biden is among 20 Democratic candidates so far and has already become a top contender for the Democratic nomination.
And that's when we heard the words of the President of the United States that stunned the world and shocked the conscience of this nation. He said there were, quote, some very fine people on both sides. Very fine people on both sides? With those words, the President of the United States assigned a moral equivalence between those spreading hate and those with the courage to stand against it.
Biden's campaign raised $6.3 million in its first 24 hours and had over 96,000 people donate. At the turn of the century, the highly contagious measles disease was declared eliminated in the United States. Now the disease is resurfacing in record numbers and is here at home. As of last Wednesday, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has confirmed 43 cases of measles statewide. The outbreak that began in mid-March has resulted in 40 cases in Oakland County, one in Wayne County, and one in the city of Detroit. Infected individuals range in age from 8 months to 63 years, with the majority of the cases involving adults. On April 11th, Lansing faced a measles scare when an infected person visited the Speedway gas station on Pennsylvania Avenue. No new cases were reported in Lansing, but the disease can stay airborne up to 21 days. With many choosing not to get vaccinated, the MDHHS says the disease will continue to spread.
Part of the problem is that many people, we haven't seen measles, you're right, it hasn't been around, so people think, oh, it's not a big deal, it's not here, I don't need to be vaccinated. Well, you know, these outbreaks have made it very clear that this is why vaccines are so very important.
The MDHHS recommends to protect yourself and others from measles. Check your immunization records for the measles vaccination, avoid exposure sites, or if you do become infected, practice self-isolation so others are not at risk. Well, back to you in the newsroom. I'm Honda Carter. There are lots of degrees that you can finish in 2 years and come out making some good money, but you may have to get your hands a little dirty.
Christine Canerva joins us in the Spartan newsroom.
Yes, Alec and Alyssa, this might be National Welding Month, but at a local trades program at Lansing Community College, it's National Welding Month every day. Students at Lansing Community College aren't learning in a traditional classroom setting. Instead of picking up a pencil, they're picking up a blowtorch.
I really enjoy working with my hands and applying myself.
LCC offers a number of options for students going into a skilled trade, and welding is one that's in high demand.
There's a huge need to get people involved, to get the younger generation to come in and start using their hands.
After decades of pushing bachelor degrees, high-paying trade jobs sit vacant.
Unfortunately, in the past, there's a whole stigma that, oh, that's dirty work, you don't want to do that, you won't make much money. But that is not true.
Here at Lansing Community College, future welders can expect to make $14 to $20 an hour starting out.
It is dirty work, it's hard work, but there's two things that come with it. One is money, that's what people like. Another one is a sense of pride. Hit the pedal again and it stops.
Scott Poe says his students learn more than just the skill of welding.
Biggest thing that they're learning, I think, is confidence. It's being able to use your hands and confidently go into a job and say, yes, I know how to do that.
They're getting the hands-on, real-world experience.
It's actually hands-on, playing with the fire, you know, making sparks, lots of noises, and putting stuff together. That dotted line.
For Jared Walter, his dream job is to
hopefully to work on a pipeline for several years.
A job making almost 50 grand a year on average, without having to spend 50 grand on college. A career in welding does not require a degree, and Lansing Community College offers a number of programs, from a certificate of completion, certificate of achievement, to an associate's degree. Alec, back to you in the studio.
A new proposal is making its way through the Michigan Capitol this week. 2 Democrats have proposed a ban on conversion therapy in the state. Conversion therapy is the process of trying to convert homosexual or bisexual people to heterosexual. The bill would prevent mental health professionals from using this type of therapy on minors. A study by the Family Acceptance Project found that young people who identify as LGBTQ and have gone through attempts to change their sexual orientation have increased levels of depression and suicidal behavior.
I think it would be affirming, right? And saying that you don't need to change this identity. This isn't something that you need to fix. Rather, like, this is a real and legitimate identity. And hopefully it changes with the therapy or counseling that they do can revolve, you know, come from a place of love and revolve around self-exploration of identities.
Michigan would join 16 other states and Washington, D.C. if it is approved.
A historic Ingham County landmark that spans the Red Cedar River may not live to be 100 years old, even though it's close. The Okemos Camelback Bridge, an area landmark built in 1924, has been deemed unsafe to handle heavy traffic. A public information meeting was held yesterday at the Meridian Township Town Hall room. Township engineers discussed possible alternative decisions, although work is not scheduled for another 2 years. During reconstruction, cars will have to take Mount Hope Road to Hagedorn Road, then to Grand River Road, then back to Okemos Road. The township will pay to maintain it, which could cost between $5 and $7.5 million. The bridge is one of the few bridges left in Michigan with the double hump design.
Food shortages. Surprisingly, it's a problem here in mid-Michigan. Tiara Terry joins us from the Spartan Newsroom with the story on who it's affecting the most.
Hi, Alec. It is really shocking to know that students are not receiving the basic necessities at home. Hunger among school children is a crisis here in Ingham County, but weekend survival kits are making a huge impact. It is hard to believe that within Ingham County, 1 in 4 children face hunger.
Ever tried to go a couple days without really having enough food or having no food? It's almost impossible to function.
And the impact of food deprivation is significant.
So what happens is they come to school on Monday and they're just not ready to learn.
Jeff Gorslin wanted to give back to his community by creating weekend survival kits for students.
We're packing up kits of food so that students that don't have as much food at home, part of the assisted lunch program, can have foods for the weekend.
It's not just about finding food. Gorslin wants to make sure the items are nutritious.
And what we want to do is first provide proper nutrition to the children that we do serve. So we're constantly working very diligently to find nutritious items.
Volunteers across Ingham County helps to make it all possible.
I love serving, I love helping others, and actually this is a family thing that we do. My kids come, my husband, and we love doing this, and we know that we're helping other people.
The organization meets every 2 weeks at locations such as Lansing, Okemos, and Howell to package kits and are always looking for new volunteers.
Attention musicians, it's audition time for one of the most iconic bands on campus. The Spartan Marching Band and Spartan Brass are searching for their next members. The marching band plays at the football games while brass plays at other sports events like basketball and hockey. There are 70 to 80 spots available with the Spartan Marching Band, from drumline to color guard to the Big Ten Flag Corps. Auditions are open to any current students and incoming freshmen.
You know, even if you're on campus as a junior or a senior, I would encourage you to come out and audition because we have several students that are in the band for 1 year because that's just when they made it and when they made their schedule work, and that's totally fine. We want anybody that's interested to come audition. Same thing for Spartan Brass. You don't have to be a freshman to audition. We're open to anybody that's interested and likes to play their instrument and support MSU.
If you are interested in auditioning for the marching band or brass, you can find more information at spartanband.net.
Have you noticed the teal banners stretching from lamppost to lamppost on Grand River in downtown East Lansing? A year now after the Nassar scandal, MSU continues to honor the survivors.
Marijuana has always been a controversial subject. There have been several people against marijuana usage, but a recent MSU study may change that narrative.
In January of 2018, survivors of Larry Nassar's abuse took back their power by speaking out in court. More than a year later, students, survivors, and allies are still holding on to that power. And as Focal Point's Honda Carter reports, they're doing it with the color teal.
MSU could never forget what happened. In the MSU Museum, Something Happened is memorialized on the walls.
I want it to be history long gone.
The Larry Nassar scandal brought both the survivors and MSU students together in a dark time.
Just traumatic, tragic, just dark time.
But then, light.
Changed me as a person,
Amanda
definitely.
McCafferty founded Go Teal, a group that started with 5 students and is now working with organizations from all over Lansing.
We took it from one video to a full movement.
And others have joined in, like parents of the sister survivors who draped teal flags from lamppost to lamppost on Grand River Avenue. McCafferty says MSU has changed.
Michigan State is famous, but they're famous for all the wrong reasons.
Not too long ago, MSU trees had teal bows tied around them, and they weren't too hard to find. Now, sister survivors have a tree of their own, and the teal bows have become a part of a rescue mission.
Because this is really about the sister survivors. It's about the story of their bravery, their courage, their resilience.
Go Teal and sister survivors have preserved every piece of the survivor story for MSU's museum exhibit, including the tree ribbons that were nested in by insects.
This was when I got a call from a survivor's mom who said, we were at Tropical Smoothie today, just off campus, and there was a young man sitting there who had a teal ribbon on his backpack. And we were just ordering smoothies, her and her daughter, and they both started crying.
It's about bringing the light back to MSU.
She said that meant the world to us.
In East Lansing, I'm Honda Carter, Focal Point News.
MSU Museum Director Mark Oslander said the exhibit is a story about the survivors, as well as the university's own failings. The exhibit will be displayed until March 30th of 2020.
Vim magazine is run entirely by students at Michigan State University, and with its latest cover, they are changing the face of fashion.
And a student at MSU is getting a taste of fame in the YouTube world. Tony Black is live in the Spartan newsroom with those stories and more in our campus report.
Alec, Alyssa, for college seniors all around the country and right here at Michigan State, this week is bittersweet. One chapter closing, another just beginning. Today marks the end of the spring semester here at MSU, which means graduation is right around the corner. Pink, blue, or gold, students are preparing for the big day by buying their cap, gown, and tassel and taking pictures throughout campus. So while there's a semester is almost over, it's important for seniors to look back on the memories.
The campus I love, and then the people that I met my 2 best friends here, now we're roommates. They're going their separate ways, but I'll always remember that.
Next week is finals week with commencement ceremonies starting next Friday and Saturday. But with finals soon approaching, students are looking for a place of peace and quiet to study. Starting at 9 a.m. this Sunday, the Union will be open for 24 hours until 2 a.m. Friday, May 3rd. Last spring, students said in a survey that they were interested in another 24-hour study space. Right now, the MSU Union features individual quiet study spaces, group spaces for collaboration, and computer labs on 2 floors. The building will also host resources and fun discounts to ease the stress of finals. And what helps with stress more than a cup of coffee and ice cream? On Tuesday, Big B will offer $3 tall hot or iced specialty beverages, and on Wednesday, the MSU Dairy Store will remain open until 10 p.m. and offer 15% off grilled cheese sandwiches, as well as specials throughout the week. Michigan State's campus is known for its trees, 25,000 of them. Make that 25,001. A red autumn maple tree was planted this afternoon in the Brody neighborhood to celebrate the 147th Arbor Day. MSU is recognized for the 2nd consecutive year by the Arbor Day Foundation as a Tree Campus USA institution. Spectators received free trees to plant themselves and motivate them about Arbor Day. Infrastructure planning and facilities and landscape services partnered to plan where the tree will go and then install it.
There used to be a Black Hill spruce here that didn't make it, so we switched varieties to this really hardy tree. Gets to be about 25 to 30 feet tall, really beautiful fall color. So yeah, we're looking forward to it growing and getting bigger and bigger every year.
The tree was tagged after being planted with statistics like what type of tree it is and how big it was when planted. Earlier today, students in the College of Engineering presented their latest designs. At the end of each semester, the College of Engineering celebrates the achievements of students by hosting Design Day. The event premiered undergraduate student designs, giving them opportunities to showcase their hard work and creativity along with competing to win prizes. Design projects were curated through the College of Engineering's rigorous curriculum, giving students a head start for the future of design. One team created a device that would allow surgery patients to get easily in and out of their cars.
There are a number of hip and knee replacements that are done every year, and so a lot of patients need to learn how to return to their vehicles, learn how to get back in their vehicles. So our goal was to create a system that would simulate that for the patients.
Design Day is a biannual event on campus. MSU's Vim magazine launched their 2019 edition earlier this week with a cover that truly stops people in their tracks. Focal Point's Kendall Ashman tells the story behind the cover.
Eat, sleep, sew.
You don't get to choose the management process of this. Hello, Carly.
These designers are working overtime for tonight's fashion show.
I'm excited because we have a lot of people back from last year. We have a lot of new people.
Because earlier this week, the 2019 Vim magazine was released.
And it is a cover that stops people. It definitely will draw attention.
A cover that truly stops people in their tracks.
We think this will kind of push other people to push boundaries.
Because for the first time in Vim history, the model happens to be
my drag persona, Crystal Delight, like the drink but with a little D in it.
A drag queen. Meet Connor, also known as Crystal Delight.
They're like, hey, we have a fashion show. Fashion show. Would you want to be in it? And I'm like, well, duh. Why wouldn't I?
And while it's the first time for these fashionistas working with a drag queen,
he seems awesome, he is.
It's a first for Connor too.
It's the first time I've been on a cover for anything, so.
And meet Noelle Thomas. She designed Connor's dress for the show, a dress with a big meaning.
And what basically it is it's that feeling like that everyone goes through in life of just like feeling like enclosed and like stuck.
A garment that represents all of life's challenges.
Basically like showing the world like, yes, like life puts a lot of pressures, but like I'm me and this is who I am. That's why I was super excited to work with Connor.
Because Connor isn't afraid to be who he is.
It's one of those things that's like hard to explain. You just love doing. But it gives you confidence, but it also lets you have your outlets.
A designer and a drag queen.
Even if it's something you may not understand or know of or even ever heard of, like, doesn't mean it's bad.
Spreading a message through fashion.
Yes, it'll be a huge learning experience for both of us.
In East Lansing, Kendall Ashman, Focal Point News.
You can find Connor and his drag queen persona, Crystal Delight, at Spyro in Old Town Lansing. What's true and what isn't true when it comes to the uses of marijuana? Like the munchies, they say you eat and you gain weight, right? Rudolph Snyder is with me because that may not be the case.
Yeah, Tony, you know MSU is known for its credible and breakthrough research, and this study specifically led by MSU researchers deals with marijuana and how it may affect your waistline.
New research from Michigan State University.
Participants were recruited at the first time point, and then 3 years later they were interviewed again.
Research that didn't just go up in smoke, but is written in a paper about marijuana's effects on health.
Cannabis users were less likely to have type 2 diabetes. So the next question for me was like, okay, are they getting fat at all?
The research specifically looks at weight gain.
Marijuana has only been legal in the state of Michigan since November, and this new research may show us that it may affect your health positively.
Omaima Al-Sharawi is an assistant professor of family medicine who led the national study. Her findings show a difference in BMI between marijuana users and non-users. After the 3 years, users of marijuana weighed less.
I see that, yeah.
That's interesting to me. I wonder why that would be.
It's a modest difference.
But a difference nonetheless of about 2 pounds.
It might be due to a biological effect.
Though Omaima isn't sure exactly of the reasoning behind the weight loss, people have their own speculations.
And I think that after you build a certain tolerance, you have to be high to be hungry. Like at first you get the munchies and you eat more, but after you like regularly smoke, it actually like your body gets used to it and you need to like be high in order to be hungry, and that's why people lose weight.
Omaima plans to research this topic further and see exactly why this difference in weight exists between users and non-users. But for now, it looks like the munchies aren't going to be detrimental to your waistline after all.
Omaima plans to continue her research and look into how THC may be a better supplement for those needing strong pain medication like opioids. And of course, Tony will make sure to follow that and see what else she finds.
All right, well, thank you, Ruda. A Michigan State junior is finding ways to profit from video games. Joey Ellis picked up a controller and sat down with him to learn more about his lucrative business from his apartment.
That's a pick. Yo, hitch.
Matt Meager is your typical college student. He's the president of the Psi Epsilon fraternity at Michigan State University.
Let's go!
But he can't stop playing games.
Sophomore year of high school, I played the mobile version of Madden. So we're playing on the Xbox. This was nothing. It was Madden Mobile is what it was called. Oh, I think you just got a block in the back.
He started playing Madden in high school. He didn't grow out of it in college. And in fact, it's even paying off.
YouTube emailed me. They said, hey, could we monetize your videos? I was shook. I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah. But I said, absolutely, like, you can monetize my videos.
Meager won't say just how much he makes, but he's definitely covering rent and making a career out of it.
My content can be genuine, and I can have passion, and I can love making like a video game video. When I'm 20, I'm pumped. I love this. I relate with those kids.
In between chemistry and biology, he'll post his Madden gameplay on YouTube, a page that has over 1 million subscribers.
You can build your brand around like a family-friendly, safe environment, get all your monetization, and that's the crowd that you build. That's your community.
A junior at MSU, Meager is studying marketing, but to the YouTube community, he's MMG. One of the biggest YouTube stars in the sports video game world.
Tyreek! Oh my God, take it to the house. Wait. I made an Instagram account, which was called Madden Mobile Gods, which is where MMG comes from.
At 20 years old, he still enjoys being a YouTuber, but as he gets older, he knows there's a chance he may grow out of it.
I can realistically say it's awesome, and I'm not going to stop until it's truly not worth my time, but I don't want to be 27 and making YouTube videos.
But for now, he's just worrying about exams and his next video. In East Lansing, I'm Joey Ellis, Focal Point News.
You're so there. Good throw.
Meager said he's putting the Madden gameplay on hold for the months of June and July and wants to shift focus to more real-life videos. Students on campus are doing more than just showcasing their talents in the classroom. Some are business owners too. Focal Point's Tia Riddick takes us to a unique kind of expo.
And then what were you getting?
This isn't your average networking event.
And today I have 3 different flavors. So I have maple and brown sugar, lemonade, and orange peppermint.
Those are just a few of the things that the 2019 Black Business Expo had in store for students.
I actually just started selling dinners this semester.
This networking event gives students on campus a chance to showcase their businesses and interact with fellow Spartans.
Basically, Black Business Expo is getting out all of those small Black businesses that we want to broaden their horizon and basically get them more customers essentially and allow them to support as well as supporting other Black businesses that also are involved.
With an abundance of Black businesses on campus, students finally get a chance to see the talents their peers possess outside of the classroom.
At the Black Business Expo here on campus, you can find things such as beauty products and even food. I just love to cook. It's therapeutic for me. It's kind of like an escape from my own schoolwork. And so I said, I was always cooking for my friends and they were talking about how much they loved it. So I was like, well, let me just share it with campus and see how it goes. So.
From the food, the friends, and all of the student-run businesses, the Black Business Expo is something students feel like they can benefit from.
So be that person that's willing to step out of their comfort zone and then attract other people the same way.
I'm sure I can maneuver them and close the box.
In East Lansing, Tia Riddick, Focal Point News.
The Black Business Expo is hosted every year by MSU's Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity and the NAACP chapter. That's what's happening on campus. I'm Tony Black.
Coming up next, we have you covered with big news in sports and entertainment, including 3 new plays coming to the Wharton Center.
Joey Ellis is here to cover the NFL Draft. Joey, how are things looking?
Yeah, guys, the NFL Draft kicked off Thursday in Nashville. There's a couple curveball picks within the top 10. I'll show you that and more coming up after the break.
I'm Tom Izzo. I'm the MSU men's basketball coach. My teams have won a national championship, 7 Big Ten championships, and we've been to the Final Four 7 times, and we're not done yet. Now, you might think my job is to win championships. It's not. My job is to build smart, strong, talented young men who win championships. My job is to build Spartans, to teach lessons that start on the court but carry on into the rest of their lives. My dad was my first mentor. He taught me about work. He taught me I might not always be the smartest or most talented guy in the court, but that I could make up for it with hard work and determination. He was right, and that's what I teach my players. A player-coach team is better than a coach-coach team. That's what I've always believed. I know that's a big part of our success. Talented individuals focused on a common purpose, working together to accomplish incredible goals. My top priority is teaching these guys how to reach their dreams on the court and beyond, helping them learn how to live lives they can be proud of, how to be a Spartan.
The Michigan State baseball team plays 24 home games a year at McLean Baseball Stadium, but as Focal Point's Michael Epps shows us, the work that goes into getting the field ready for play takes much longer than just 9 innings.
Before all the fans and the players, even the broadcasters, Jared Noodle gets to the ballpark first.
Per usual, man. Field doesn't get itself ready.
Jared doesn't make the flashy plays. He certainly doesn't show up in the box score.
It's all in the details, a lot of what people don't see.
But he knows he has to deliver every day, making sure it's a field of dreams for the baseball and softball teams.
Like people, you know, they really have no idea that we're here right now watering in order to get the field soft enough for play tonight.
Fans grab their favorite concessions and come watch a ball game, but they don't see the hours of work that's put in before they come to their seats. The groundskeeper's work mainly goes unnoticed, but that doesn't bother them. They're here for other reasons.
It doesn't bother me much anymore. I don't do it for the fans. I do it because I like being outside. I like doing it. I mean, the coaches and players know how hard we work.
Better than just sitting around and doing office job, I guess.
Joe Lorigan and Eduardo Sosa are 2 MSU students in the turf management program. They do this job for the experience.
I'm studying landscape architecture, but I just wanted to come to the turf management just to see how it's all about, like you said.
They would love to work for a major league team one day, following in Jared's footsteps.
I worked 4 seasons for the San Francisco Giants, and I worked 1 season for the Detroit Tigers. I started to have a family, and I moved back to Michigan, and then I got this job. And
it's a lot more than you would think it is. People think it's just grass and dirt, but there's more patching.
And when the chalk lines are laid and the work is done, you know the game isn't far from starting.
It's always rewarding in the end, I think.
In East Lansing, I'm Michael Epps, Focal Point News.
That'll certainly make you look a little bit differently at a baseball field next time you head out to a game. The Spartans were in action at McLean Stadium this week. Following a win against Oakland on Tuesday, Michigan State played again on Wednesday against Toledo. The Rockets struck first in that first inning here as it's John Cervello doubling Trace Hatfield home as he scored all the way in there from first as Toledo was able to jump out to the early lead against the Spartans. But jumping ahead a little bit here is Michigan State storming back up 2 here in the 5th inning. A wild pitch here from Austin Calopietro ends up bringing Roy Sando in to score as the Spartans take a 4-1 lead at that point. Toledo didn't go away easy, however, as they made a late rally here. Brad Boss hitting a deep gapper in the left field to score Chris Myers for the Rockets, but Michigan State ultimately does hold off Toledo. They win this one 4-2. The Spartans were back in action tonight as well as they held off Northwestern 8-3. Game 2 of that weekend series starts tomorrow at Saturday with first pitch at 4:05. With some big names on the board, the Detroit Lions went with a tight end with the 8th pick in the NFL draft, nabbing Iowa's T.J. Hawkinson, the Mackey Award winner for the nation's top tight end last season. Hawkinson becomes the 2nd tight end taken in the first round by the Lions in the last 5 years and was one of 2 tight ends taken from the University of Iowa in the first round.
I'm excited. This is a great opportunity for me. This is very surreal in this moment. I get to play football for a living. How cool is that?
And as for Michigan State, just minutes ago, Justin Lane was selected 83rd overall to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kari Willis, Felton Davis, and L.J. Scott are all projected third-day hopefuls in the NFL draft. Final coverage of the draft will conclude tomorrow in Nashville. That's all for sports this week. Alyssa and Alec, back to you guys.
Thanks, Joey. Although Endgame may be pulling all of our attention this weekend, the Wharton Center has announced an all-star list of plays coming to Mid-Michigan this season.
This week, we take a look at some of those plays in a segment we call the Wharton Minute. Denise Patterson has more.
This year, we do have some of the great plays coming to the Wharton Center, including some of the great Broadway musicals like Wicked. Tony Black has what we call this Wharton Minute.
Wicked is coming back to East Lansing. The prequel to The Wizard of Oz is a fan favorite and will be here April 1st, 2020.
You can room with Miss Galinda.
There's such strange acceleration in such.
Then we get to experience a whole new world as Aladdin comes flying into the Wharton Center. The popular Broadway adaptation is now on tour with a whole new life, live on stage in December. And Les Miserables is back. The story of Jean Valjean from Victor Hugo's novel is making a return engagement to the Wharton Center in November. The musical is still playing on Broadway with thousands seeing it every year. And Tony Award-winning musical Dear Evan Hansen is beginning its first national tour and will make an East Lansing stop next June. For your Wharton Minute, I'm Tony Black.
And now, from the live theater to the movie theater, let's check in one more time live with Griffin Stroin. He's covering the opening of the movie Avengers Endgame. Griffin, the last time we left you, we thought you were headed in to watch the movie.
I'm technically working right now, but also at the same time, it's the middle of the movie. But I got to get a refill in-house, so this kind of works out. But we're still here at NCG, it's still buzzing, and there's still lots of shows to see here at the movie theater. But you guys got to make sure to either call ahead or check online if there are still available spots, because shows have been selling out left and right. So just make sure to do that before you come. Okay, but really, I got to get this popcorn and then I got to get back to the movie. So reporting here one last time, live at NCG here in Lansing, I'm Griffin Stroy.
Thanks, Griffin. This is our last show of the semester. Hope you have a great summer. For Focal Point News, I'm Alec Rio.
And I'm Alyssa Burr. We now leave you with the sounds of the MSU Wind Symphony.